very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
Coming to you from the studio, located in the Nemesis stars, on planet X. The transmission, the truth, the drugs, try the best,
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a lift-off.
Welcome everyone to the Best Damn Podcast. I am your host, John Keane. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. I ask that you please add, follow, and check us out, www.spreaker.com/show/Best Damn Podcast. Also check us out, thebestdampodcast.tv. Follow me, Instagram, Best Damn Podcast. Twitter, The Real Best Damn. And no matter what you're watching on Facebook, DLive, Periscope, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow, and click the notification bell. That way you can get all of those gorgeous notifications. Let's see what we got here tonight. I decided to do a late one, and it's cool to be back. I'm happy to be back. I love being back. That's what's up. Here we go. Let's kill this music. Go ahead and jump into this one. Yeah, boy. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody. I think we're live here on YouTube and all of that. I didn't promote this at all, but I wanted to take the opportunity to basically let everybody know what's kind of been going on, where I've been. I've seen a bunch of dumb shit. People saying things, some true, some not so much. But, either way, I've been gone, a couple weeks now. And most people, I think, have already, know what's going on and, probably got the gist. I know Sarah C's and Andrew from the Boogeyman channel was putting out, different things here and there. I'm not really sure. I know somebody said I died. That's obviously not the case, right? I'm here right now, unless maybe I did die. What if they cloned me? What if I'm a clone right now, like Kodak Black or Gucci Mane or something? It's possible, right? There's probably a weird guy wearing a John skin suit right now, and I would never know the difference. So thank you guys. Let's see what we got in here. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube or anything, I am over on Discord as well. I see Brenda S, Don Juan, Gabby. Hey, Gabby. Josh McCurl, Majestic Gift, Matt Pruitt, Nancy, Christine, Shiny Squirrel, Virginia, Wishing Upon a Star. Yeah, and I will be, chatting a little bit after this is over. I just kind of wanted to get into a few different things. This is just something I kind of slapped together, let everybody know what's going on. Glad to see you. Yeah, it's really good to see you too, man. I appreciate all of you guys so much. I can't even tell you how much I do. Seriously, who do we have here? Person Unknown, Eric Ebu Elliott, J-Dub, Rachel Kneebone, James Lowmiller, Little Bear, Beyond Bean, 115, Know Thyself. Lots of dumb shit. Yeah, man, I love you, bro. That is my brother from another mother right there. Justin, that is my dude. Justin, if you're over on Discord, man, you can go ahead and cut your mic on if you want to. Jahar Ali, Shanif Neef of the Great White North. Thank you. Jimmy Neutron, Marion Creetzel, Nancy Lewis, David Son. Thank you guys. I appreciate all of you, man. Seriously. Mad Am, Mystic, Skywatcher, Lioness Roar. It's so cool to see everybody, man. Hey, I've been in jail. That's where I've been. I'm not dead. I've been in jail. And this is like something that I don't exactly know what's going on. I haven't like went through all the different messages and shit, but I do know that people was telling me that someone said I passed away or I died. First off, that's not true, obviously, or I wouldn't be here talking to you. What it appears to happen is Andrew from Boogeyman Channel was trying to figure out, what was up, and also just to kind of put it out there, he didn't want to give away my business to everyone as well, so he was trying to figure out what was going on, but at the same time, once he had figured out everything. Hey, mute your microphone, please. All right, man. Mute your microphone, please. Thank you. Appreciate that. So Andrew didn't want to give away my business or whatever, but what he had done is he went through Facebook and where my dad passed away. That's what he had found. You guys remember I was bitten by a brown recluse for the second time this year. On my Achilles heel, and I was taking some time off, and it had me worried, just to be honest. I was like asking people, positive thoughts and prayers, because it was really bad. Like, it was a bad bite this time. So it had me, a little shaky. But I did heal from that, and, they were saying that I had a stroke. They had like the hospital room or something like that. It was all from my dad. My dad passed away about a year ago, damn near like on the day, and he had some complications, like he was on kidney dialysis and all of that. He ended up having like a stroke, and then when he went into the hospital, they PCR'd him like 3 times, and then, his lungs collapsed, his heart stopped, and then his brain died, and then they pulled the plug. So, I could see like there was a very, I think, an honest mistake, you know what I mean? And also, in the same token, once he had figured it out, he didn't want to put everything out there, because just how people are, man. They take shit and they run with it. They use it for judging people, just all kinds of stuff. You guys, you know what I'm talking about. And then Sarah C's, I guess, put some stuff together. I don't really kind of know what everybody was saying this way or that, but what had happened was, and a lot of you guys have remembered, I got sued like 5 years ago. Right? I got sued and I lost over a car accident. I was taking my children to school, like 8:30 in the morning. This is where I lived on the other side of town back then. Taking my kids to school, got in a wreck. Drove over to I was like a street away from my house. I drove over to my house to get my children to my baby's mom back then, and the guy that I got in a wreck with followed me over there. I waited for the cops. They come there. They cited me. I ended up basically having to pay them like over $6,000 and all of this. And the person, when we went to court, tried to like push like me going to jail. Well, they didn't put me in jail. They ended up like putting me on some type of probation or whatever. Make a long story short, so I had like a warrant from 2016 or 2017, and that's what happened. They arrested me. I was hanging out with somebody the weekend before I left, and they bagged me, and where I hadn't, gotten any new charges or anything like that. They had me down in the jail for a couple of weeks. I had my brother actually loan me money to get an attorney and get me out. So, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, so everything is fine. It was actually like a really big blessing in disguise, in my opinion, just because of, I had like license issues and all of this, and that was all of it was really like standing in the way, like preventing me from things that I needed to take care of. So it's really fortunate that it's out the way, so, and I just want to say to everybody too, like, I really, really do appreciate a lot of you guys, and just you know, how loyal and just loving and kind you guys are, you know, and you know the way that you show so much concern and love. Like, I can't even tell you, like, that shit's dope. And it's like, you know, you don't find that very often in life. So I feel so fortunate, and I have so much gratitude to those of you that are like that. It really does make me feel like, you know, it's like family, man. You know, like, you don't find that, especially nowadays, right? There's no such thing, man. You know, when it comes to this stuff, and a lot of people, especially because of nature, like what I do, I've always said this: people love to build you up, but I can promise you this: they love to tear you down even more. You know, some, right? Some. I do know that, I don't know if it was her or not, but the mother of my children jumps in on all of this, just saying a bunch of nonsense, acting like she speaks for my family, which has no contact with my family. It's just, everybody wants to kick a person when they're down, right? When somebody can't speak and defend themselves, you know, it's like everybody wants to, you know, take their shot. But I've been through this stuff for so long, so much, you know, like, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me. I know the people that care, and I know the people that are really, you know, a part of this and are connected to me. You know, I know those people. I know who you are. You know, and I know the ones who aren't as well. You know, I love all of you just the same, though. Like, I have so much gratitude and appreciation just for everything that you guys do for me. You know, watching my content, joining the communities, just all of it. I can't even tell you, you know, how big of a blessing it's been to my life in particular. You know, I was basically a career criminal before I started doing all of this. That shouldn't surprise anybody. This is nothing that was ever hidden or anything like that. Because, to be honest, this is who I am. We all have histories. We all have past. If you judge me for it, well, that's up to you. But truthfully, what we do is we judge ourselves, you know, when we judge another person, you know. And I think anytime anything happens, especially something that presents a challenge to us within our life, it's an opportunity for growth. Right? It's an opportunity to overcome, and that's how I see everything. Right? That's how I see everything. And without adversity, we're not being pushed in the direction to grow. It's like we have to be challenged sometimes. Sometimes we get comfortable, we get complacent, and we need to be shaken a little bit, if that makes any sense. Some of the best things in my life have come out of the worst tragedies in life. At this time, when all this stuff happened, this was the worst point of my life. My wife of 10 years was cheating on me with the guy that helped me do the audio mix to the introduction song. And I came home from work. Everything I owned was gone. Everything I owned was gone. I got sued, lost. Shit, man. I lost my home, my car. Dude, like the next day after all my stuff was gone, the electricity turned off, the water turned off. I mean, you couldn't have gotten at a lower place in life than where I was then. And, but it was like it was amazing, because even in the back of my mind, I knew it was necessary. It was like I was being torn down, broken down to be rebuilt, basically, right? To be rebuilt. And my life was destroyed. I mean, if those of you who's watched me for a long time, you will remember when that was taking place, because I lost my shit a couple of times during some podcasts, like, you know, literally brought to tears because things were that hard. And this was also during a time where I was experiencing the targeted individual stuff. I mean, people were, hexing me, gaslighting me. I just can't even... If you know, you know. You watched, you seen it, you know I'm not lying. You know, it was intense. It traumatized me very badly, to the point I had like PTSD for quite a few years. And I went 3 years without even like human contact because it messed me up so bad. I didn't believe anybody was genuine anymore. People were literally sent to me to pretend to be my friends, my girlfriends, just everything. And it was a hard time, a really hard time. But at the same time, it like made me really strong. It made me really strong. It taught me so many valuable lessons too. I walked face first into every trap you can imagine. Every trap you can imagine. Some of them just out of my curiosity, because I'm curious. And some of them out of my ego, my arrogance, because I didn't think that people could do certain things. And some of them just, being gullible, I guess, wanting to see the good in people that wasn't there. I wanted to be able to I tried to please everyone. And it was something that I couldn't do. I failed on that one. But, I learned in the process that it wasn't about pleasing everyone. It was about pleasing me, loving me. That way I could love everyone the right way. And I didn't love myself either before all of this. I didn't love myself at all. But I learned to, and I learned that people would either accept me or they wouldn't. And I would much rather have people accept me for who I really am than trying to pretend to be somebody. And I think that's why, saying little cliche things like the only way out is within, because it's true. Until you really learn how to forgive yourself, you can't forgive another person. It's impossible. It's impossible. And I mean, I held dark things. I've done dark things, bad, terrible things. And I held those against myself. I hated myself for them, and it was hard for me to let a lot of things go. It was hard for me to forgive myself. I can forgive another person like that, but I couldn't, forgive myself. It haunted me. My mistakes did. But I knew I wanted to be a better person. And this is what triggered the whole YouTube channel, all of it. Seeking, trying to, I prayed. I wanted to know what the truth was, no matter what it was. And that's when that dream happened, and, all of it. I was a grade A piece of shit before then. But I had I had this in my heart that I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be. And I think, God, the source, creator, whatever, who knows this. He knows our heart. He knows when we're sincere. He knows when we're not. And I think each one of us has probably had a similar moment, maybe not the same way mine was, but you probably had your own moment where that's what truly mattered to you, was knowing the truth. I remember spinning my wheels so much, really double-minded even, trying to find, what just clinging to anything, really, because I was so lost. And it was the more I knew, the less I knew. The more I knew, the less I knew. And it's it wasn't even until I came to the realization that I knew nothing, that I then began to understand anything at all, if that makes sense. And I'm still at that place. I don't know anything. I don't think any of us do. We're all in this together, and we all have this point of view, this perspective it's unique, and it's an individual experience, but at the same time, it's collectively being experienced amongst all of us as well. It's a really wild thing and a wild concept to even kind of fathom, how much we've been lied to. Everything that's been put in front of our face is just this false paradigm, this false image. That we're being spun bullshit and fairy tales from the moment we draw breath. And that's a lot of shit to untangle. And that's why I believe, I was allowed to experience all the things I was, because it was ripping those attachments I had to things in my life. Every time something bad would happen, every time destruction would come, it was always something I was attached to. of this world, or a person I was attached to that was no good. No good. Even down to, the mother of my kids and my family. That was something I really, really valued, and always really wanted to. And, having to face that wasn't what was best for me or her or my children, those kind of things. Those are hard fucking truths, dude. It's not always what we want, but it feels like it's mostly what we need. And those two things can conflict. But hindsight being 2020, like I said, those things were the best things that ever happened to me. The most painful things in my life were the best things that ever happened to me. I was humbled in a way that you can't buy that. That kind of humble pie. You really are in awe. How it all works. How things unfold, what is destiny, what is fate? Did I have how have I influenced this, and how has this always going to be the way it is? And I think that's each and every one of us. We're all on this path, and we have little forks in the road, where we can go left or we can go right, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's already over, it's already happened, it's already been done, it is finished, right? And we're all heading to this place. We've already been there. We've already won. But we're experiencing the fight real time. The battle real time. And it's amazing when you think about it. It's amazing because each and every one of us, my challenges in my life might not be nothing like yours. But to you, yours is just every bit, your burden's every bit as heavy, if not heavier than mine, right? And the way that it's meant to be for you. And it's making you stronger, just like, mine does me. And we all stumble, we all fall, we all struggle. But that's what makes it so beautiful, because we have each other, right? We have each other, and we all are going through this together at the same time. I don't know what I would do if I didn't meet people like me throughout all of this. I thought I was a lunatic, man. And so did everybody else, by the way. Even the truth community, thought I was insane, and I think we've all had that experience where our family, our friends, the world rejects us. The world rejects us, right? They hated him first. Right? They'll hate you for my name's sake. Right? And it's that's what the anointing is to me. Right? You're put at enmity. Right? Enmity with that serpent. That lower carnality, that darkness. And the world won't let you just slide. The world won't let you just have an easy walk, because nothing that's easy is worth anything, right? Something with real value is a fight, it's a struggle, it's a journey. And a lot of people, they watch this stuff and they do it for just a hobby, bullshitting around. But a lot of you know what I'm talking about when it's a lifestyle, it's a way of life, it's a commitment we make to ourselves, to the Creator, to one another, to we're taking humanity to somewhere we don't even know. Right now, we're all doing that together, whether you think so or not. We're all essentially, and I don't like to use the word sacrifice, but we are giving of ourselves for the benefit of all. Right? And what I actually was showing it before I went away, the book of John. Let me see if I can pull it up here. And one thing that blew me away when I was looking at what John even meant in this book, and let me just pull it up. I won't read the whole thing. But it's talking about to lower yourself. Right? To lower yourself. Here. Right here. The name John. Remember, he's talking about he's not the light, but he's showing them the light. Let me see where I can get the image here. It means to lower yourself to someone inferior. And it's not like an egotistical thing, as in, oh, they're inferior or they're less than you. It's someone of a lower stature spiritually. You're in service to another person. You're sacrificing your energy, your love, yourself for other people. Because that's how you can't serve yourself unless you're serving another person. We're meant to do this for one another. Right? We're not the light, but we show what the light is. And the only way we can do that is by giving of ourselves to another person. Humble thyself and be exalted, right? And right, you don't, right? You'll be humbled. And that's the name of the game. We're humbling ourselves, but we're being lifted up at the same time. And the only way like it could ever work, and when you think of like little cliche phrases like looking out for number one or, shit like that, like we are programmed to serve ourselves. We're programmed to be selfish, self-centered, self-absorbed, because it's defeating the purpose of what we're really here to do. Right? It's the binary opposite of what we were meant to do, what we were made to do. We're not made to lie. We're not made to kill. We're not made to be selfish. Like, that's why everything we do is supposed to be in service to one another. And if we all served each other, there would never be, nobody would need for anything ever. Ever. Like, knowledge would flow freely amongst us. Love freely amongst us. People wouldn't be hungry. They wouldn't be without homes. None of these things. None of these things, because we'd all be lifting each other up. And that's why the whole divide and conquer thing is so effective. It absolutely spits in the face of that concept. And it keeps us like cutting each other's throats. We're so worried about what another person has, or, and that's like that whole fake piety thing. That's why I hate Christianity anymore. And it's not that I hate Christians. There's a lot of beautiful people that call themselves Christians. I used to be one, or not beautiful, but I would call myself a Christian. I hate that hypocrisy, that judgment. Like, we don't try to know God or know ourselves so we can look down on other people. And that's what religion does for you, right? Legion. I am legion. It's demons. It's demons. You're becoming part of the hive. Right? And with that same measure that you judge another person, you'll be judged. And that's what we're doing with religion. Right? We're finding different ways to elevate ourselves over our brothers and sisters, over our fellow human beings. And it's not that you're actually being elevated at all. That's an illusion as well. Right? In your mind, you're telling yourself that you're something more than another person, but you're not. What we're really doing is lowering ourselves when we do these things. We're harming ourselves when we do these things. I see so often people say, oh, I don't watch him because he cusses or this or that. It's like, when did we forget, like, what really matters? What's really important? What is their heart saying? How is their soul speaking? People that's not in tune with those things, they don't even think of it, right? They're following this fucking rule book, right? And this Bible, right? The Sun book, and they're using it as a weapon. Like, they're weaponizing the word against people they're supposed to love. That's why the curse of the law, right? Like, Christ and all of that was to redeem you from the curse of the law, because that's what it is. The law is to put you under the law. Under the law, you're cursed. You can't fulfill it. You can't be perfect. There's no such thing. Like, you're perfect in your imperfection. We're meant to not be perfect here. This is the place of mistakes, the place of pain, so we can experience love. That's what duality is. Like, you wouldn't have love if you didn't have pain, if you didn't have hate. anger. You have to have that other side of the spectrum to be able to experience the other side. That's what this place is. You're two beings, right? You have that dark persona, that low carnal part of yourself that says, I'm an individual. This is me. I identify with this physical place. And it's a mask, right? A persona is a mask, which is a demon. It's a demon. Half of you is demonic, whether you believe that or not. It is. But the true you is not. It's light. It's spirit. It's life. Everything comes out of that. That's why, like, when I show like the videos on like the two yous, that is one of the most epic videos ever, because it's showing you, it's telling you, like, there are two people inside of there. You're at war with yourself. That war in heaven is going on within you every single day. Right? And when you look at like Revelations 12 and all these different scriptures and prophecies, yeah, they're talking about astrological events, and yeah, they're talking about physical events, but they're also talking about the war inside of you. You have to toss that dragon down, that old serpent called the devil, right? You have to do that within you. We have to rise above ourselves. It's like we're at this battle with ourselves, and each and every person has this battle. And I think it's a lot easier sometimes for us to focus on another person's battle instead of our own, right? A lot of people do it. I've done it. We've all done it. Instead of facing our demons, facing ourselves, it's way easier to say, oh, this person did that, or, that person did this, because it keeps us from having to look ourselves in the mirror. It does. But it's no benefit to you if you're not. Your biggest enemy and your biggest friend is you. Right? It's all about you. And that's why there's no guru. That's why there's no fucking leader. That's why there's none of that shit here. Because at the end of the day, everything that you need, everything that you are, everything that you'll ever be is inside of you. That's a living spirit, that breath who's breathed into you. Right? The heart, the seat of the soul. That's what makes you you. Everything you ever need is in there. And that's like what this is about to me, is like each and every one of us trying to peel off the mask and find that. We're remembering, right? A member, it's a part of a body. We're putting ourselves back together down here. Remember, Adam, he was put to sleep, but he was never awakened. He was never awakened. And think about the word awaken. Awake. It's a funeral. It's a funeral. It's you dying to this, the illusion. Right? Christ crucified in the place of the skull. He died to his concepts of the world. He died to the programming, the indoctrination. He died to all of those things. And so do you. Right? So do you. Even now when you look at like all of the miracles he performed, like turning water into wine. You're 80% water, homie. The wine. We talk about this a lot on this channel. That's part of the harvest. Right? It's part of the harvest. You're turning yourself into that wine. You're turning yourself into that wine. And each one of us, we're doing that. That's that transfiguration. You're transmuting that water into wine, right? That darkness into light. We all have the ability to do it. And we know that people do perverse things with it. They pervert it, right? That's what witchcraft is, right? The manipulation of that from a perverse angle. It's to serve yourself. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to take my darkness when I sacrifice this kid and transmute it into light for my own benefit. Do what thou wilt. Right, instead of thy will be done. Right, like, and people take it from like this whole religious thing, like, I'm serving this entity, I'm serving this deity. But at the end of the day, it's about serving one another, or you're serving yourself. It's very simple. It's like, and the more like, the more I learn, it's almost like every bit of the knowledge is not even good knowledge anymore. It's just to overcomplicate things, to make you feel like you can't understand these things, or you need somebody to teach you about these things or tell you about these things, when it couldn't be, further from the truth. All we're really doing here is not teaching each other, but we're growing together. Right? We're bouncing things off one another, like iron sharpening iron. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. We're doing it together. And if you notice, right, like birds of a feather flock together, the right vibe, the right tribe. We are the wheat and the tares, the wheat and the chaff. It's being separated right now, right in front of your eyes. Right? Like, if you watch me, you belong to this community, it's because you are magnetically drawn. Right? It's electromagnetism. Right? And think about it, like the whole concept of a purifier or judgment, right? The Dark Lord. And he's attracted to negativity. It's attracted to evil. It works the same way, the same way. We're all coming together in the name of truth, light, love, all of those things. And we're drawn magnetically. Right? When people will say things like, oh man, it's like you're talking directly to me. It's because I am. Right, I am. We're in a direct communication every time that we do this. Most of it's unconscious, right? We're not aware of every bit of it, but I feel a chat when I do shows. Like, I can feel the vibe of the chat through the computer. Remember, it is a channel. We are channeling right now. People get all caught up on, John reads tarot and da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, we're magical beings. We're magical beings. Anything that you look at has a flip side to it. Divination, it doesn't matter, right? Words are spells. Words are spells. You stand under the spelling of the word. Right? You're being bound by a fucking word. Right? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. That word's still reverberating all around us and manipulating that light. Light and sound are the same fucking thing. They're just at different densities, different levels of vibration. And like we have the power to raise, and we have the power to lower. Like, and that's what the Bible talks about, like, the power of the tongue, right? To bless you or curse you. You should cut the damn thing out of your mouth because it's that powerful. Think about it. People speak so much shit about themselves all the time. Oh, I'm stupid. I can't do this. I can't do that. They're just cursing themselves day in and day out, day in and day out, beating themselves down and have no idea that the damage they're doing. And what is it, Dr. Miyamoto or whatever, the Japanese scientist that took the water, right? And he like flash froze the shit, right, after speaking, right, showing that we have this direct influence on our physical reality. And anytime I would say something, and I can't show it because for whatever reason, every time I do, they like take the video down, so there's some weird copyright. But he'll say something like, I hate you, or you're ugly, right? And you look at the water and it's all abstract and fucking ugly, and there's no symmetry to it, and it's violent, immediately you're imprinting on the reality by speaking it. Or you say something like, I love you, and it's like harmonious, symmetrical, beautiful, right? And I talk about it all the time. We imprint on everything because we are everything, right? Consciously, we can't even help but do the shit. We can't help it. That's why you look at our movies, our music, everything. It's like this giant collective imprint of all of us on everything. This is an illusion down here. And and that's why I'm like such a big fan of like the Sky Dome, Atlantis, and all of that, because the soul luminescence concept is showing you that both ways. Like the star in the jar. Please mute your microphone. The star in a jar, right? Like light is being like a prism through the firmament, and we're the projection, the phantom, the illusion, just like what Genesis says, right? It was made in the image, which means a projection, a phantom, an illusion. So we are those stars, guys. When you look at the inverse of it, and remember, this is the upside down. This is the inversion of everything right here. That's why your eyeballs have to flip the image the right way, because you're seeing it upside down. You're seeing it upside down because you're in the inverse right now. You are. And that's why it's always a mocking of trinities and this and that, because it's an inversion of the truth. Everything you see. Christianity. Look at the word. Christianity. Antichrist. It's right in the word. Right? The anagram is right in the word. It's showing you what the religion really is. That's the inverse. That's the inverse. And see, and people can't handle this once they've been indoctrinated either. Right? Like it's almost as if they've been spelled so hard by the God spell, the gospel, right? The God spell, that even to utter that, like to speak that, it's a blasphemous thing. It's a blasphemous thing because they just accept what they were told. They just accept what they were told. The pastor, it's the same thing with like science and shit, right? The accepted, consensus from science, which is always fucking nonsense, bullshit, asshat shit, right? Like we crush it all the time here, right? Why do people think that theological things are any different? Oh, okay, yeah, they made a religion out of this. I'm sure that's the truth. I'm sure it is, right? Just like everything else. This one thing, though, is the truth, right? It's not inverted. That's why the Vatican took Peter and flipped him upside down on a cross, sure. Right? Like, people don't even get it. They don't see it. The Babylonian system is religion, too. Like, each structure of governance, a governor is an archon, right? It's a watcher, it's a messenger, it's the fallen, and their influence on the physical world, right? They do it through us, to us, and it's a slow burn. It's to keep us all under a spell, so each and every day of our life we're giving our energy to all the fucking wrong things. All of it. We're giving ourselves away. That's what we're doing. It's not just your energy, it's your soul you're paying with. Everything that you do. And the physical is created through the spiritual. So you see it. Like all the churches, the synagogues, and all of this. These are temples. These are altars. These are altars. Right? We're committing idolatry. Right? And I know it sounds wild, but we are. Through religion. Right? We're creating these concepts of God and we're putting him in the box, in the cube. Right? Cube Allah. He's a cube father, cube God. The God of this world, Satan, right? That's what we're doing. We're boxing ourselves in. We're boxing ourselves in. When the truth is supposed to set you free, it's supposed to break those paradigms, shatter those concepts, but people want to fucking... and I've done it too. Like, you want to try to make your version fit with what you're comfortable with, instead of just taking it for what it really is. Like, and in my opinion, that's what the story of Christ is. It's each and every one of us. Like, it's me, it's you, right? And it's about us and what we have to do. I can't stand it when people say, oh, he paid the price so we don't have to. No, that's not true. He paid the price so you can too. He showed you how to do it. So you can too. See, we want to cop out everything. Like, you even see how selfish and self-centered that whole concept even is. He paid the price so we don't have to. Oh, okay. Right? So I don't have to be uncomfortable ever. I don't have to sacrifice anything ever. I don't have to go through any hardships ever because he did it. So I don't have to. And you look at like the Cobra and it says, mankind must suffer to be great. Why is that? Why is that? Because anything worth having, right, is not easy. It's a challenge, right? Like, you're in this battle, this test, this war in heaven with yourself. And it's like, what do you truly value? They did not love their lives so much that they were afraid to die. They were afraid to die. They awakened. They had an awake, a funeral. They did not love their lives so much that they were afraid to die. They died to the physical. Right? They were rose from the dead. Right? Like Lazarus. Once again, another miracle showing you the same thing. Christ taking a person and rising them from the dead. They're coming from death in Christ, which means the anointing. The anointing is bringing you to life. You're already in the construct of death as we speak. That's what it is. That's why every fucking religion is a god of destruction and rebirth. Look at it. Abaddon, Apollyon, Shiva, all of it. Same cat. Over and over and over. Destruction and rebirth. Because it's a trap. You're doing it over and over until there's nothing fucking left of you. You're being fragmented, fractaled. And it's micro, macro. Like we talk about this all the time. It's micro, macro. So, the earth to me is like one giant eye. One giant pineal for all of us. A collective pineal. And you can see collectively how fucked up we are. Right? That's why there's those churches, the synagogues. These are the altars. Right? Where we commit our idolatry. Right? We're idolizing man. That's all it is. That's all it is. We're idolizing man. Oh, look at us. We go to the moon. No, we don't. Oh, look at us. They can, hear everything you say and, all of this. Look how powerful the government is. No, they're not. The power lies in the belief that they're powerful. Through your faith, you're healed. Through your faith, you get your ass torn up by, the fallen, the government. To govern is, it's archon. Govern to lord. You're lording over. You're lording over. You're controlling. You're governing. And that's what we do. Think about every little prayer, too. Right? Will you give your life over to your Lord and Savior? Right? Giving yourself over. Once again, you are saying, I can't do it. I'm going to let someone or something do it for me. You're not picking up your cross and following him. You're saying, here, will you carry this for me? And can I get all the benefit and reward when you do? Because I'm not willing to suffer. I'm not willing to sacrifice. I'm not willing to die. You did it. That should be good enough, right? And I don't know why there's a disconnect with people when it comes to these things. The one unforgivable sin, right? To blaspheme the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth. Every time we're denying it. Every way we can. It's like we don't want to look at it because it's uncomfortable. We don't want to. We don't want to say it because we're afraid. We're afraid what other people will think. Or, oh my God, you're a Satanist now because you said that we have to pick up our own cross? Give me a fucking break, man. Since when did the powers that be have anything good for you? When did they tell the truth? And this is what's so important about the whole discovery thing, because you see it now. You're like, oh, this is the exoteric and this is the esoteric. And that's what they call it too. The inner rings of Saturn, the god of this world, Satan, who is all about rules, constriction, right? Following these things, consequences, your Saturn return. Astrologically, right? It's when you become an adult and all your life shit comes back in your face and you're given a choice. You face it, you transmute it, you grow and you become, right, that adult. Or, like most people, you give it away. You blame others. And that's the life cycle you end up, living. That's what you created for yourself. There was nothing returned. It was all just given. right? Like the Saturn return. That energy's returning to you to allow you to change it. You're getting a chance to change it. And most people pass it up. They don't want it. They don't want it because it's too hard. Change is scary to a lot of people. Creatures of habit, right? That's what humans are, creatures of habit. Meaning habitual, ritual, habitual. It's a ritual. You're a creature of ritual is what you are. Each and every day you give yourself away right on time. You give authority to the governments, to the courts, to the police, to the military, to the presidents, right? Habitually, ritually. You're given dominion, right? Our battle is not against flesh, but what? Principalities, powers, and dominion. Right? And by acknowledging that these outside forces have any control or anything at all, you're giving dominion. You're subduing yourself to it. That's what this whole system is built on too. It's like this fucked up version of worship where we all worship each other, right? And it talks about the number of the beast. It's the number of man. And look at it. We do it with fucking baseball players, musicians, YouTubers, fucking pastors, whatever we can find. Whatever we can find. Instead of seeing like we don't belong on any pedestal. Not one of us. Right? What is it? Pride goeth before destruction, or, you know, being proud of ourselves and putting ourselves on this elevated status, right? We're exalting ourselves, which makes us humbled eventually. It always does. You will be humbled. Unless you humble yourself, then you will be exalted. Once again, like I was saying, the John thing, it's like he's not the light, right? But he come to show people the light. Why? Because he lowered himself. He humbled himself. Like in each and every book in the Bible is the same fucking way too. It's like showing you, like if people just looked at the etymology of the words, they'd be like, whoa, that pastor I've been listening to is full of shit. This is a fairy tale. What they're telling us is a fairy tale. You know, the story. The Virgin Mary and Bethlehem. They're talking about the fucking stars, dude. Virgo and the house of bread. And each age too, it's like these cycles of destruction and chaos and harvest, and you know, people still don't get it. Like, we're being meticulously groomed for our souls, our energy. Like, we are in a real deal fucking war. Is it with ourselves? Probably. You know, I don't have any recollection of choosing to come down here, but I know there's people that believe they have. They've chosen to come back. They've chosen to come to earth, right? And when you sell your soul, that's what you do. Right? That's what you do. They believe you'll be reinserted over and over and over as a wealthy person because you gave away your life. Right? So there's no more spirit. It's just persona. It's just darkness. It's just individual. Right? And even in the occult, like Aleister Crowley is talking about, true identity doesn't have to be identified. It doesn't have to say I exist. I just do. I am what I am. Right? It's just existence. You don't have to say, hey, I exist. To even say something like that would actually be contrary to your existence at all. And that's what personality is. That's the mask. Saying, hey, I'm an individual, I'm a person, I'm an identity. And you'll see it like in musicians too. I think it's actually just kind of cool when you think about it. Some people will literally identify as the same fucking person. Like the rapper Future says he's Jimi Hendrix. I think he is. See the concept of selling your soul, right? They sacrifice themselves. And I mean, look at anybody who's ever died, the 27 Club, the 21 Club, right? And look at the numbers they're using too, right? These are numerological numbers, right? 2, 7, 2, 9. That's 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 completion. 27 Club, their completion. The ritual's over. It's over. And that's what they're doing. They're giving themselves over to the system, the governors of the system. The life is gone, right? Remember, they have a king over them. One mind. One mind. And even Nostradamus is saying the same thing too. He's like 944, right? He's saying Saturn will go from gold to iron. Right? Saturn will go from gold to iron. Gold is spirit, right? It's spirit to machine. That's what he's talking about. Gold to iron. That's what's happening. Look at the AI system. It's absorbing all of us right now. The Hopi talk about how the skies will have these weaved webs and shit like this. It's already happened. The World Wide Web, the White Rabbit Project, right? That ritual satanic bullshit, just like Trump, right? Follow the White Rabbit, right? Look at Matrix, right? Follow the White Rabbit. Neo, Neone, 1. The anomaly, he's anomalous. Why? Because he is not a part of the system. See, we're imprinting on everything. Notice too, he just like in the Matrix, when Neo gets his power, what happens? He dies. He dies. They shoot him in the hallway and he dies. And then he becomes the one. Sound familiar? Right? Christ crucified. Then he becomes a Messiah. Crucified in the place of the skull. You know, it's an amazing concept too when you really think about like how special each and every one of our individual journey really is too. Like how big of a part each one of us play, whether we know it or not. A lot of times people say, well, John, I can't find my purpose. I can't, you're living it, man. You're living it. God don't make mistakes. Maybe your purpose is just to be a good mother, a good wife, a good husband, a good daughter, a good person. A good person. To have compassion, empathy. To be understanding and loving to other people. Maybe that's a beautiful purpose. And people, because they're feeding their ego, they need something bigger. More glamorous. Well, no. God's calling me to do this. Well, that sounds like the other guy. Right? The other guy is about, being proud and boasting and over the top and doing things so people see it. Right? And Christ is talking about, hey, don't let the left hand know what the right hand's doing. He's trying to tell you, you don't need recognition for a fucking thing. You're being recognized spiritually. That's where the growth is coming from. That's the reward. You're stirring up your treasure in heaven. Where is heaven? The kingdom of heaven is within. It's within. We're taught to externalize everything. Why? That way we never find what really matters ever. Right? Everything is outside of ourselves instead of where it belongs, within us. The only way out is in. The only way out is in. And it's a scary thing to go in. Because it means like you have to face you. You have to face you. And I don't know about you, but when it comes to me, like my number one nemesis is me. But it's also like my my greatest strength at the same time. And I think that goes to, without saying, for all of us. Right? We have that dualistic nature within us for a reason. Right? We need the struggle. We need the battle. Right? Those two wolves, which one you're feeding? You need that. You need to be at enmity, right, with yourself. And notice, like, it talks about Adam, right, being at enmity with the serpent, right? He'll strike his head and he'll strike his heel. Right? Strike his head. He'll strike his heel. Right? The world is a footstool for God. His heel. Achilles' heel, right? That weak spot. They're putting it right in your face. And what's he do? He was cursed. The serpent was cursed to crawl on his belly and do what? Eat the dust of the earth, right? What was Adam made from? The dust of the earth. So that lower self, that serpent within us, right? That is the worldly thing, that's the footstool of God, is literally you're devouring you by serving that. You're devouring you by serving that nature. As above, so below. Why? Because spirit gives birth to the physical, right? So everything spiritually we're selling ourselves short on, we're selling ourselves out on, becomes physical. And look at the state of the world. It's like perpetual fuck. And, look at it. It's deteriorating, but at the same time, that duality, you see this ascension or transfiguration process happening with people like you. The people that watch these videos and stuff, right? Like, so the world's getting crazy and crazy and crazy, but the other side rises with it too. Right? So not only is, things look like they're all loopy and screwed up, but you have people that are truly transcending reality. They're like fucking... It's amazing. Like, they're doing greater things than Christ, right? He said, you'll do greater works than me. And if you look at it, look at what we're doing. Like, as a whole, together, look at what we're discovering. Like, the mysteries of God being revealed. It's the mysteries of ourselves. The mysteries of ourselves. We're learning who we are. Know thyself. Know thyself. And I wonder how many people even see it that way. You can't see it like that if you're practicing a religion, right? It's constantly taking you away from you. It's like, oh, no. You need to love this deity or that deity, or you need to know this deity or that deity. And what did Christ say? Love the Lord thy God with all your heart and soul, right? He didn't say, love me and call me God. He said, love the Lord thy God, right? Love one another as I have loved you. Love one another as you love yourselves. Not a new commandment, an old one from the beginning. And notice how it fills the entirety of the law. The entirety of the law, that curse of the law. Simply by being selfless, simply by loving, simply by seeking, simply by knowing. And we all have that, that ability, that gnosis, right, to know. And it's not talking about knowledge, like physical knowledge. It's talking about a spiritual gnosis, a true knowing, a remembering, right? We remember. We're putting ourselves back together. Remember, we're being broken into pieces over and over and over. We're putting ourselves back together. And I wonder if that's why there's only 144,000, right, in Revelation. Because maybe there's only that many whole souls. Maybe there's, it's something to ponder, right? Like, they say there's 8 billion fucking people on the earth. Well, is there? Or is there 8 billion fractals from 144,000? Because all the different cycles. Think about it. Every time that we reproduce, right, we're producing another version of us. It's a smaller fragment of us. That's why, and a lot of people, some people would deny this, but it's true. Like, we imprint on one another, just like we do it in the movies, the music, and, the heavens, and, the words, and all of this. We do it with each other, too, right? We commingle our spirits, That seed imprints on that egg. The two come together, and there is a reproduction of the two. The two become one. And that's what it's all about, too. Think about it. Gospel of Thomas, talking about the two becoming one. That persona and that spirit becoming one being. You're transmuting. You're transfiguring. You're becoming whole again. Remembering. Just putting yourself back together. And you know, a lot of times people want to spiritualize the ego instead of spiritualizing the spirit. You know, oh, I can't stand to talk to people that are asleep. Well, that's egotistical as fuck, dude. You know, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. You know, how can somebody claim to be awake and have no compassion for the sleeping, for the suffering? You know? That's right. That's right. You know? And that's what I mean. This is like the whole fucking fake piety thing. This is what it is, man. And people escape religion to fucking do the stuff, you know, still. Like, it's almost like the creatures of habit, habitual, ritual. The ritual never stops for most of you. You're constantly sacrificing you, yourself, your soul, until there's nothing left. And I wonder if that's what old age is. I wonder if that's what death is. I wonder if that's why we age. Because pieces of ourselves are constantly being given. It's like you can watch the battery fucking drain down here until there's nothing left. And think about it too. Once upon a time, people lived like 800 years, 1,000 years. Why is that? Do you think it's maybe they just knew the truth then? You know? Maybe they knew the truth then, and they weren't giving themselves away so fast. That's why they could live 1,000 years. Maybe we could all live 1,000 years if we all, you know, did what we truly were capable of doing, instead of buying into the fucking bullshit of the world. And I mean, I wonder, you know, collectively, even if, you know, we tried, where we're so tied together collectively now, people are so fragmented collectively now, like we can't live longer now. It's like that's each cycle. I wonder if like that's what it is. You know, we're being whittled down till there's nothing. At the end of the cycle, they wipe it clean and they start over and bust us into smaller and smaller pieces. You know, we're stars. We're made of stardust. You know? And it was even like this study that was talking about like the rib, right, that comes from DNA, and how supposedly it's only found in like dwarf stars. You know, dwarf stars that create this alkaline thing that's within the rib. I'm trying to think of the guy that actually discovered that. I can't off the top of my head, but we've talked about it in the past. You know, and then you look at like the Dark Lord or the dragon or Satan, it's supposed to be this dwarf star. It's like, wow. You know? And I've been like kicking this thing around here recently too, like, are we the sun? If you look at like, you know, the watchers and the deities and astrologically like these fallen angels that are the planets, right? The planets. Like, are we the sun? The only way to the Father is through the Son. They call the Son soul, right? Soul invictus, invoking of the soul. You know? People think the sun is a portal. I mean, you look at the earth, you know, the earth appears to be a sun too. Hurricanes or sunspots. I mean, micro, macro, it's all the same fucking thing. We're imprinting on it all. This is, once again, the whole soul luminescence thing. You see the light being inverted into the phantom projection illusion within here. Well, it's also projecting outwardly into the stars. Right? Everything we see is something that's within us. Everything. We're projecting outward. You know, and this is like people try to, you know, laws of attraction and shit like that. Once again, trying to serve themselves. Right? But, you know, that's what they're doing. They're attracting, they're projecting, they're being conscious of what they think, what they believe, what they seek, what they hope for. That's all they're doing. They're just being aware. They're taking their thoughts captive. They're choosing their words wisely because they understand the influence, not just the magnetic influence, but the magical influence of everything about their being. You know, everything about their being. When you're told as a kid, like, you can be whatever you want to be, the shit's true. We're just convinced, right? We get indoctrinated into believing like we have to be realistic. Let's be realistic, right? About life. They try to convince you that your dreams can't happen. What you truly want can't happen. You don't marry for love. Marry for stability. Be realistic. Don't pursue your goals, your dreams, your passions. Be realistic. Get benefits and 401ks and misery. Say, you have to adhere to these laws of life, right? Like, you go to school with your indoctrination there, your church with your indoctrination there, and then you become an adult and you go to work and you're compartmentalized and indoctrinated there, and you die. You ever notice that the 40-hour work week, they say that it's actually created because it's like the most that they can make a person, work and give away of their life without breaking them mentally. Right? It's like, it's right at that edge. Like, you would lose your shit and kill yourself if you done any more, basically. Like, on average. So they make it just perfect to suck every bit of your life, break your ass down, and don't give you enough time to ever actually live. Like, the whole shit's rigged. And he's a hard worker. Well, that just means you're a good slave. Right? Work for something that matters, that has real value. A fiat money doesn't. I mean, yeah, it feels good to put food on the table and things like that, but is it edifying your soul, your spirit? Is it feeding you really? Right? Man can't live off bread alone. You see like how all this shit comes into play when you really fucking think about it? Like, what's really feeding you? Are you getting fed at all? Is anything in your life actually giving you something? Or are you just giving all yourself to everything? What is it, like the Muslims in the Quran, they talk about any image, like when they die, you're going to have to give life to it, right? You're going to have to give life to it. And that's what we're doing. Like, we're putting our energy into these things, and it's basically saying, like, so anything that you birthed or created an idol of, you're giving yourself to that. You have to, you're paying with your soul, your time, your energy. You will be made to give life to anything you idolize, any altar you create. And you're doing it whether you think so or not. By idolizing it, by creating the altar, you're feeding that energy. It's a soul tie. It's a contract. It's a contract that you agree to. You write, you create, and you pay. I mean, I know, like, for some people, each person has their own beliefs, what they're comfortable with. We're not all at the same place at the same time, but for the most part, I think a lot of us, we're damn near right there all together. It's like this. That's the collective consciousness right there, like the wave of consciousness. We're so connected, and think about the whole 6 foot fucking social distance thing. Because our hearts generate an electromagnetic field with a 6 foot radius, right? We're all touching one another. It's the ripple effect. That's why it's so important to shut someone up like me or shut someone up like you. Because just by speaking it, putting out into ether, we're touching other people with it. They can't help, whether they agree or not, right? It's getting in them. The truth is getting in them. It's like a virus. Right? It's like a virus. We're pouring the gasoline to burn the whole fucking illusion down. Just by speaking it, we're destroying it. Like, and I talk about the whole, it's like a fucking drop ceiling. I'm one tile. And as I awaken, boom, the tile falls. But I'm touching the other tiles around me. They're weak now too. They start to collapse. And before you know it, the whole reality is collapsing in on itself. Because the foundation is weak. We broke the construct. We broke the construct, the illusion, right? The altar, the creation, right? The architect. What's he the architect of, by the way? The cube. He's put you in the box. You're breaking the box. That's all you're doing. You're breaking out of the box. You know, in every religion too, notice it, every fucking religion, Christianity, what is it? A cross, a box broken open, right? Christ, the anointing representing breaking out of the box. It's a box broken open. Jewish people, they put the box on their forehead. Why would they put a box on their forehead? The place of God, right? The place of God. They're putting a box on the place of God. I'm sure there's no symbolic meaning to that whatsoever. Or look at the Muslims, right? They walk around in a circle around a giant box. Right? It's Saturn. They're walking around Saturn. Right? He's a cube god. Right? And his North Pole has a hexagon. Right? What is a box? It's a six-sided fucking polygon. It's a hexagon. Right? Hex, X. It's a curse. You're marked out. You're hexed. It means you're X'd. You're gone. You no longer exist. And you know what? When it talks about like hell and all of this, people think it's like this whole fucking torture thing. I don't know about that, because when you really look at it, hell, the flames of hell, is a consuming fire. So it means you're burnt up. You don't exist. You don't exist anymore. Right? You've been consumed. There's nothing left. Right? You've given yourself over to the system. Right? And that's why, right, God, at the end, what's he do? He refines us by the fires of affliction. Right? You're making them pure like gold. Right? You're burning the darkness out of you by trials and tribulations. Right? You're burning it out of you. Literally. We're walking through fire right now. Every way, shape, and form of our life. We're fireproof, right? And what to talk about? John talks about Christ, and he's like the one baptizing with the Holy Spirit. Right? He's baptizing with fire. Like, people don't even consider these things or think about these things because they're not allowed to. Right? They're told what the right answer is. When they go to school, when they go to church, right? There's no true critical thinking or any of that, right? You're just told what to repeat. What's the right answer, John? 1776. Right? If I said 1774, then I would be wrong because I didn't repeat it. What's the number one method of mind control? Repetition. Do you see how this works? Right? We're repeating everything over and over and over because it's a script. The scripture, right? Scripture, the base word script. There's a million scripts in this program. School, work, all of it. What you call your societal structures and, life. We're told, oh, well, you have to obey these rules of life. It's one script. It's one variation of the same fucking program, which is the box. It is the box. So when you're on that cross, pick up your cross and follow me. You're dying in the place of the skull, and the box is broken open. Right? The box is broken open. And you rise from the dead. This is death. This is a construct of death. Chronos, Father Time. Time is death. Right? That's what it is. It's an illusion. And when it's over, when it's over and you break out of that box, that's the freedom, right? You're eternal. No more time. You're eternal. And people think that this is the real world. Like, it's so funny to me, too. You spend 60, 70, 80, 90 years, if you're lucky, here, and eternity on the other side, and we're crying when people die, right? Like, because we're being convinced that this was the highlight. Give me a fucking break. That don't even make no sense. This little blip of 60, 70 years is a highlight compared to eternity? You know? Why have we convinced ourselves of these things? Because we were told to. We were told to. You know? And I think it's amazing how children and shit will inherently know things because they haven't been indoctrinated yet. It's like we almost like beat the spirit out of a kid, don't we? Like when we put them through school and all that, we crush the dreams, imagination, and all of it. What is imagination? It's just creation, right? If thought is creation, your little kids creating alternate realities, alternate worlds, alternate everything. We're creating. We're co-creators. We're sons of the Most High, God, right? The Creator of all. Well, if we're the children of God, then we would be like God. We would create, and that's what we do. That's what we do. The only way to the Father is through the Son. And then look at the whole C-19 shit, right? Like, what is it? Right? Corona, sun, virus of the Son of the Most High, virus of the crown chakra. It's like showing you the whole thing. Showing you the whole thing. And people still haven't get it. And that's why you look at the tarot, the C-19 card, right? It's the rider on the white horse. What's he doing? Conquering and to conquer. Conquering and to conquer. And you're seeing the whole world being subdued consciously. And what happens? They all die. Those who don't have the seal of God on their forehead. It makes a lot of sense. Or maybe it doesn't. Let me go ahead and check this Discord over here. I don't know how many people are still left. Sorry for doing it so late too, guys, by the way. I do appreciate everybody. Let's kill that video here. Yeah. Alright. So, never mind. It's no big deal. All right, guys. I do appreciate everybody, for joining me tonight. And I want to say, people, be kind to Andrew from Boogeyman Channel. I was told that some people was giving him a little hard time. Hey, people make mistakes, man. I don't think there was no malice or anything like that from anyone. And, I just think they got their wires crossed. They got their wires crossed. That's it. That's it. And
I'll tell you what. Can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if anything at all, it's showing us how special we are here. There are groups, there are communities, and there are families.
Absolutely.
Different.
Very, very different, ain't it? We're a cult.
Fucking grateful. I'm still fucking grateful and so fucking happy to see you. I'm just gonna say, fucking A, John. I'm so happy you're home. I hope you hugged your boys. I hope you loved your family and grabbed everybody in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm so fucking happy. When I saw you in your car, I got ecstatic. I cried.
Ah,
Thank you.
oh, that's awesome.
We even get that response from somebody I don't even know. You know what I mean? It's awesome. Well, I kind of know you a little now, but
Yeah.
just welcome home. And fuck the man. And you did the right thing. And thanks for being strong.
No,
Coming
thank
out
you.
Positive.
No, thank you.
Definitely. I send you shit every day. All my morning gratitudes, brother.
I appreciate
To you,
that.
and I hope you felt it in there. People were giving you tons of love.
Absolutely. I do, man. Like, I'm really in tune to that stuff. And
Oh, you are. Definitely you are.
I
Come on, you're tarot. And you even know what runes are, so...
I appreciate you guys. I really do. Like honestly, I can't. Dude, I would be like dead. I'm just keeping it real. I would be dead like without you guys. Like this is my, like.
It's my therapy. It's my therapy and my socialization.
Yeah, but you guys, You guys are my purpose, right? My purpose is you guys. Like it's so wild. Like I don't know how to explain it, but that's what it is. Like
I do have a little explanation. We have all come together, and you have researched so much knowledge that we're all just kind of piecing together because you went to it more intense. I don't know if you were incarcerated. I don't know if you were anywhere where you had a chance to read extra. All my jail friends read lots of books, and everybody came out. Everybody's so fucking spiritual, and I have so many people coming to me now that they've been like, I've been sending these things out from you, and people are coming to me, and very slowly, surely, the last month and a half, and I've been doing law of attraction for myself. I've put it out there, and she's been coming to me like fucking amazing. And my friends are interested, but they're doing it quiet.
well,
But that's better than nothing.
well, each person at their own pace, and like Christ. And Christ talks about how like one will, plant the seed and the other will harvest, right? Like, and that's what's happening, each time and I think that, our best thing we can do is just when we show how happy and fulfilled our lives are, I think, like, and how much, and it's not like you're perfect or anything like that. I mean, I just fucking went to jail, you know what I mean? Like, shit happens, dude. But it's not about being perfect.
I just had a 6'7" biker living in my house for almost 3 years. He treated us with disrespect, my mother and myself, and did tons of speed. It was crazy. Kept 2 hours a day. And he just left like 6 days ago. And my mother and I spoke today about that negative energy being gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through all the emotions of grief, of setting free that negative energy and that pressure that was here for 2.5 years. And I got the pets.
Absolutely.
Great. It's fucking great. It's what it's meant to be. The universe gave me what I asked for.
Absolutely.
You're home, dude. You're fucking home.
Absolutely. Yeah, which
Not expected, dude. I didn't expect it. It made me really happy.
it's awesome.
Hey, I was going to tell you, somebody also came in. We were having a drink chat one night. Veritas. Is anybody here that was there? It was Veritas something.
I know Veritas.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was baptized a little.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, brother.
Here?
No, hold on. What was he saying? What was you saying, bud? Go ahead and finish.
No, that sounds like Veritas. I was in the chat room when I met you, and I didn't know if we're concerned about it. So I was just letting you know that a friend, someone was concerned about it, and was, was on.
Yeah, no. I know Veritas very well. I love Veritas. Amazing. Yeah.
At first, John, I didn't say shit. I just said he had, personal shit I didn't want to open out.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't my place to tell you something. So,
Well, truth is, it's not.
I talked
Truth is.
to a wolf. What do you call Wolfman? Wolf?
Mm-hmm.
And I told him I didn't know what to say, and he said, you just proved you were good there, and from there on in, I was good.
Yeah, because we were honestly expecting wolves.
Alright, but he didn't know what to say either.
Well, okay. Here, let me just say this though. Like, it's not nobody's business. Just to be honest, I'm only sharing it because I don't have nothing to hide. I just, I feel like, but I mean, yeah, yeah,
I can't believe I'm even talking to you tonight. Oh my god.
it's cool.
I'm blown away. And you look good.
Thank
I
you,
have you on my TV. But I'm talking on the phone.
thank you. No, and I mean, like, I don't mean to say that like in a bad way, but I'm just, like, and I'm not angry at anybody that said they like, not every like I would. Well, it wasn't just him. It was other people saying things they shouldn't have been saying either. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, please hold on. Like,
I understand. I didn't go looking for the negative. I opted out.
yeah. Well, I'm just, like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like we can get too caught up in shit sometimes and try to put yourself in that position, like, where people like expect to know all of your business with these, like, and some people I love, and I know it's a genuine place. It comes from genuine concern, but to be honest, most people that are trying to dig into people's lives, it's always for the wrong reasons, it seems. And the nosy people that do those things, they come out and like that's the only time they engage is when it's something to gossip about. You know what I mean? Like those are the things I don't like. Like I know what intention is. I know there's a lot of people in here that are good, loving souls, and I know there's some that just any group, any crowd, there's always going to be somebody that's doing something for the wrong reason. And I don't want people to focus on the wrong things. Like, seriously, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter any of that. And I wish people could really grasp that. It's not about me. It's about you. And people will use anything they can to really kind of disqualify what I'm saying. They say, oh, he went to jail, or, oh, his baby mom who's never spoke anything ever waited till... No, stop. Let me finish, please. And, I have people that are literally coming out trying to trash me when I can't even defend myself and saying they're speaking on behalf of my fucking family. I mean, like this is... And this is what people focus on instead of like what's important, man. Like it's counterproductive. It's not, and I hate for people to even focus or base anything around me at all because it's not about me. And this is why I've tried to like decentralize all of this shit and tell everybody like it's about you. If anybody is not leading you to you, then they're fucked up. They're lying to you. They're breadcrumbing you. They're trying to say, oh, I'm the answer. I have the truth. Listen to me. I'm the teacher. Call no man teacher. Right? This is why. This is a prime example. Because, man, I'm flawed. We're all flawed. So if people try to, base it on my actions, my beliefs, you're setting your fucking self up for failure is what you're doing. It's each one of us, it's about us. And I just want people, if you take anything away from it, take that away from it. People all the time, they ask me what I believe and shit. It don't matter. It's none of your fucking business what I believe, right? And like it's not my business what you believe. We can't base it on one another as people, right? That's the idolatry. Oh, well, if John believes this, then he has to be wrong. No, you're trying to disqualify something because of it. And that's the whole concept of the anonymous mask and shit like that. That way you can't take a person's race, age, sex, the way they look, the tattoos on their face, the color of their hair, and try to use that to weaponize their persona against them. That way everything they say doesn't matter anymore. Oh, he's a fucking degenerate. He's a con, blah, blah, blah. He's a felon. Don't listen to what he's saying. It's no longer true because of the way he looks or something he done or what he believes. That's the trap. And we do this with pastors, teachers, preachers, every fucking way possible. Politicians. And what do we do? When they screw up, they fall. And the whole movement falls with them, just like Trump and the whole controlled opposition thing. Right? It plays out micro, macro, everywhere we go. So I just want people to really, really grasp that. Like, it's got nothing to do with me. Like, no matter what, I could fucking die tomorrow. It wouldn't matter. It's bigger than any one person. And it's all an individual journey, an individual path where we walk together, but we walk alone. At the same time, we're just here to help each other as we walk. And I really want people to really, sink your teeth into that, because that's the truth, man. That's the truth. And I might be the guy who, makes the sites and shit like that, but it's so we can all come together and know ourselves. So I really want people to, to know, like, don't base your shit on me ever, because I'll disappoint you. I'll let you down. I'll fuck up because I'm a human being and a man, and any other person will too. You'll do it for me. You'll fuck up. You'll let me down. We have to go beyond these things and not do this, this song and dance that society's been trying to get you to do. We're supposed to be breaking out of the box to avoid that shit, right? Like, so I want people to take that to heart, because each one of you are so strong. You don't need me to carry you. You don't need me to teach you. We're just here to lean on each other in our times of weakness, but we can all carry the weight. We're all our own teacher. We're all our own guru. We all have that mastery of self and knowledge within each and every one of us. We're all fucking ninjas, man. Jedis, and like, you didn't get to this point by accident. It all comes through you. It all comes through you. So I just want people to understand that, and I want people to believe in themselves. And I'm not saying, don't watch me or whatever. I'm just saying, like, understand where the real source is coming from, because it is you. It is you. And even in my early days, like when I was spinning my fucking wheels and I was all over the place, I needed confirmation from other people, and I needed to hear the truth sometimes from other people, and I needed a little help to get along the way, but ultimately it was so I could become more sure of myself and trust, inside of me. And I think we're all trying to get to that place. So just understand, like, you have, that Spirit of God is you. It's you. It's all about you, and we have to have this confidence now. We should be at a place now to where we understand it so much so, right? Like, we don't question ourselves. We just know, right? The truth was written on our hearts. The heart's the seat of your soul. He's saying, I wrote the truth on your soul, man. If you know who you are, you learn your soul, you'll know the truth. You'll never have to watch another YouTube video. You never have to read another book. Anything that you touch is actually just triggering what you already know. That's it. What you already know. It's all there. Everything you need is within you. I give you dominion over all things, right? Ask, you shall receive. He's telling you over and over and over. You're it. You're all of it. You have it all. You need nothing outside of you, right? You need nothing outside of you. And I really want people to believe in themselves, man, and understand just how amazing and how capable we all really are. And that, how powerful our words are. Don't speak down on yourselves. Don't doubt yourselves. Believe in you, because you really are something amazing and special. And each and every one of us were created for our own amazing purpose, and we don't know what that is. It could just be sitting in this room tonight and not saying shit, man, but thinking something. That thought alone could create a ripple to free everyone. You don't know. So don't underestimate who you are, because you're all awesome. And like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you for everything that you guys do. I can't tell you, you guys saved my life. You guys have given my life meaning, and just, I can't tell you, I'm eternally grateful for everything. Not just like money donations. I'm talking about real love and just, like the shit that really matters. Like, I can't even put, like, there's no price tag for that shit. Like, that's what really, really matters. And that's what all of this is about. And, I'm so grateful, man. I'm so grateful. And no matter what happens, no matter what direction anything goes, like, they can never, ever take away, like, what we've had up until this point, what we have. That can never be taken. It's already, we got it. We got it. The channel could be deleted tomorrow. It wouldn't matter. We've already done what we've done, and that can never be taken. And we've built something that's beyond sticks and fucking stones. It's eternal, and it's powerful. And we're all connected because of it. Like, we are a spiritual family, whether we recognize it or not. We were brought together for a purpose and a reason. And you know what? I bet when all of this is over and we can actually zoom out and see what that reason was, we'll be fucking amazed. Like, damn, we did that. We triggered that. We saved humanity, or a piece of humanity. Who knows? We don't understand the gravity of what's even taking place. We can't, not in this, this form. It's that far beyond us. But I do know it's so big and it's so important. And, you're so blessed to even be a fucking part of it. Like, to witness it. Like, for real. Like, all of us are. So we should be humbled by that, and we should be thankful each and every day when we wake up because we've been given so much. And no matter how bad, the shit we go through, like, somebody's always got it worse. Somebody's always dealing with more, and, that's all we can do is really try to just appreciate what we do have, the attitude of gratitude. And I promise the more you're grateful for, the more you'll be given, the more you'll be blessed with, the more wisdom you seek, the more knowledge you seek, the more you'll be given, the more you'll be blessed with. It's like you got to show that you appreciate and you respect what you already have before you can have more. And you got to take care of what you already have before you can have more. And everybody has a lot. You're already rich. You're already rich. You have treasures you can't even fathom. We all do. We just don't know how to weigh it and measure it in this form. But I promise you, it's more than we could ever wrap our heads around. We've been so blessed to be in this position right now, talking to each other about these things when the rest of the world burns and sleeps and gives away their souls. And dude, think about it. You most likely are the elect, the chosen, whatever, right? Like, so that's nothing to slouch at, it's awesome, and you're honored, right? High priest, each one of us, the order of Melchizedek. It's not a DNA order, it's a spiritual order. I think we're all part of that order. And remember, Abraham, or Abrahma, right? This God of this world, the God of destruction and rebirth, he tithed to Melchizedek, right? So he was beneath that too. That God of destruction, the God of this world, was beneath that spiritual order of anointing. So remember that. We're special. We're all special, and we've been given a gift. So I do want to thank all of you guys for watching and tuning in. Sorry it was so late, but I had a lot going on today. Just kind of, coming home and shit. And so I thank you guys for everything that you do. Please, hit the likes and leave the comments and share and all of that. I do got some cool. I'm trying to work on some cool stuff and sites and all that, but I'll talk about that more, another day. Tomorrow I'll probably go back to live shows and content and all of that. And so yeah, and if anybody's got anything they need from me or issues, please just text me, and I'll try to get to you if I can. I got a lot of stuff to go through, emails and stuff. Don't even waste your time on an email right now. Just please text 513-393-2396. And yeah, I think, and yeah, so just thank you guys for everything that you do, and I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody's understanding and patience and kind words too, so yeah. Hi. I love you too, Gina. You're awesome, man. And seriously, thank you guys for everything. I do appreciate it, thanks, man. Thanks. I'm about to have to change locations and stuff like that. So hopefully I can crank out some content while I'm doing all this. But it's going to be tricky. But I think it's like an adventure. Everything's an adventure to me anymore. Every time that something, like I said, the worst things that's ever happened in my life always ends up being the biggest blessings. So, I don't think this would be any different or anything like that. And it is what it is. And for the people that try to kick me when I'm down and all of that, you know what? That doesn't hurt me. It hurts me for you. Those people, it hurts me for you. Because it shows how hurt you are, I think. So, if those kind of people, don't be mean to them. Let's love on them because they are hurting. So, I don't need nobody to defend me or anything like that, man. But, let's love on those people because they're probably, they are hurting, or they wouldn't be trying to do that to people. All right. So, thank you guys. I appreciate all of you. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And, yeah, thank you for everything that you do. All right, guys. Y'all have a good evening. And those on the YouTube, and DLive and Facebook and all that. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. Like I said, I really can't say it enough. If you haven't ever watched me before, please subscribe and click all notification bell. Make sure to leave the comments and hit the thumbs up, and if you can, please consider donating, supporting. That's how I make my living. PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, Cash App, or Facebook Messenger Pay. Somebody said don't donate when I was in jail, so I don't know why they would do that, but that's how I make my living. So I appreciate all of you, though, even if you don't donate, just, the love. So thank you for all that, man. Seriously. All right, guys. Remember, Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. God bless you all. I love you, and I will see you next time. You'll have a wonderful week. Peace.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.